This is going to be very informal. I do not like talking at you. If you have a question about business, about finances, I don't care. Ask it. That is what I'm here for. I know this information. You don't. So don't feel afraid to ask if I'm talking and I say something you don't understand it. Stop me. We're here to have a conversation, okay? All right, wonderful. Okay, so during the pandemic, the government gave out at least $10,000. And if you didn't have any paperwork in place for your business, you probably missed it and you were probably upset with yourself. So what I come across with a lot of business owners, especially creatives, are they do not think because this is their talent and this is their passion that they need to formalize it and make it a business. They feel like, I don't know, it's dirty. It like hinders their craft. But you're missing out on money when you do that. So the first thing that you need to get, if you have not gotten it, is an LLC. Does everybody here who has a business have an LLC?
What makes you jump to that? I mean, just do it no matter what? Because I've been told to stay where I'm at.
Well, if you want some money, you can stay where you at. I have no qualms about where you want to stay where you at, but if you want some government money, they need to see an LLC. There you go. Also, yes.
Is it difficult to get the LLC?
No.
I guess some people are fearful, like they don't have what it takes or they don't understand
No.
the process.
An LLC is easy. It takes 24 hours to get. Sometimes the government, the state of Ohio is so quick, they'll give it to you in a few hours. So all you do, for those of you who do not know how to do it, is go to the Ohio Secretary of State. You got to click some things. This is like business search online, file LLC, something like that. I wish I had a computer. Audrey asked me if I was going to do slides. I said no. But the Ohio Secretary of State, that is where you go get your articles of incorporation. For-profit, LLC, you do that there. It is $99 through the state of Ohio. Ohio is blessed that once you get it, you kind of have it forever. And ours is fairly cheap. There are other states that pay $400, $800, other states where you have to renew it every year. We are blessed to live in Ohio where it's $99 and you keep it forever. So it's literally entering your own information. So a lot of people get tripped out when they be like, oh my God, what are they asking me? They're literally asking you your name, your home address or your business address, whatever address that is, your business name. That is it. You'll need nothing else. So that is what you do to get your LLC. Your next thing that you want to get is a EIN number. That is through the IRS. Everybody raise your hand if you got an EIN number. Okay. So this now number is kind of like the Social Security number for your business. So you have a Social Security number, now your business has a Social Security number. Don't also let anyone tell you to pay for this number. This number is free through the irs.gov. All you got to do is type in irs.gov, go to the search bar, type in EIN number. A page will come up that says apply for EIN. Literally, it's your information. Nothing tricky. That's it. Those two things are going to be your starting points for legitimizing your business as a business so that you can receive money from the government if they do decide to release additional grants. Any questions so far? Yes. That's great. That works too. You got an EIN number for that? Beautiful. Same thing. Good. What you mean? Will that affect getting an EIN number?
Then you'll get it, but then they'll just take it off your earnings probably from that.
No. So I'm not sure if you're asking, can you get an EIN number if you owe taxes?
Right, or just like the whole, I mean, does that have anything to do with anything?
Mm-mm.
No, it's just a separate issue.
Yes, if you do owe taxes, you can still get an EIN number. Yep, that's a good question, no problem. Where else? There's so just many angles that I could go from this. Okay, so now we got an LLC, we got an EIN number, right? Okay, did you have a question? Okay, I just wanted to make sure, I thought you had raised your hand. From there, you need to file some tax returns on your business. That freaks people out when I say that, right? They'd be like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna have to owe money, right? When you are a business owner and these grants that came out, they wanted 2 years tax returns, or at least a year. So if you had been in business a year, they were like cool with that. They would just say, let us know you've only been in business for a year, cool. But the bare minimum, they want to see 2 years tax returns. So if you're an LLC, you are supposed to file a Schedule C with your 1040. So a lot of people come to me and was like, hey, I've already filed my personal taxes. Can you file my business taxes? I was like, great, are you an LLC? And they say, yes. I was like, well, how did you file your personal taxes without your business taxes? And they said, well, they said that I could file them later. This is why you don't go to shifty people who do taxes. They should have told you, oh, okay, well, when you are ready to file your business taxes, because they go together when you're an LLC, a Schedule C is just an additional schedule to your 1040. Now, everybody's familiar with a 1040, right? We file that every year as a W-2 employee, right? Most people are familiar with that, right? Okay, so when you become a business owner, you have an LLC, that is an additional schedule that reads off the profit and losses for your business. You as an Escort, you have an entire different form. Have you filed taxes on so you're good? Cool. So you file an entirely different return, but as an LLC, that goes with your personal taxes because an LLC is simply just a pass-through entity. And all that means is the earnings from that business pass through to your personal. Okay, that's it. Any questions around that really quickly? Because I don't want to lose anybody. When I get to talk about taxes, people are like, oh, gosh, she's talking about taxes. Okay, yes.
So I've filed a Schedule C as a sole proprietor for any of my personal art income. So the LLC would be handled the exact same way. I would just do the same thing I do with my personal taxes, just for the Schedule C. I don't have to file a completely different
No,
thing for my business.
exactly.
Schedule C on my personal taxes.
Yes, ma'am. The difference between an LLC and a sole proprietor is simply just you have now taken the identification of your business off of yourself, and now you have made it a separate business entity. So now it's its own entity, as it's supposed to be attached to you. That helps you with liability issues. For somebody to sue you, they're going to take your personal assets and your business assets. When you become an LLC, or when your business becomes an LLC, they can only take what is the assets of the company. So if you only got $500, they can only take $500. I'm sorry? It's still filed the same way. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
If you got like freelance artists
Mm-hmm.
who work for like another group that you get your paperwork from,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also have the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Do the artwork as the LLC, or do you just do them like I've done everything as a sole proprietor?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need the artwork with the studio to be separate from the freelance artwork?
So when you say freelance, can you, just, okay.
Doing
Product photography, okay. So they give you a 1099?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but do I need to do this as like separated, like with the artwork, studio artwork?
So now, and then you have a studio that you sell.
Yes, so I've done that with both of them together, but I'm wondering, does the studio need to be separate from the sole, or do they both need to be part of this LLC?
To me, from my tax advice is since the businesses, they are kind of together. You sell photography out in the studio, right?
Well, some of it.
Yeah.
Not what I'm working on this.
Right, right. But it's you're not doing something totally different inside of the studio.
Some stuff.
Some stuff, okay. I will put those together. So if whatever the name of the studio is, all money can run through that studio. And it can be filed under the LLC. So when they give you a 1099, instead of it being your social security number, you can give them your EIN number. No, you're fine. And that's a good question. A lot of people say, well, a lot of people will want to combine all their different businesses, but if they're not related, so like artwork or sales or photography, or you taking photography or working as an independent contractor doing photography, can roll underneath the same thing. Essentially, they are the same thing. So that's fine. You can combine them. They can be underneath that LLC, underneath that business name, underneath that EIN number. Totally fine.
So like if I have the photography services with this other group, but I also have some photography in there, but I do a lot of
That's fine.
Would that be okay?
That's okay. That's okay. That's good. That's good. Yes.
I have a question about the sole proprietorship.
Yes.
Filing LLC. So if you are like with the 1099 or any kind of form, if you're putting your social security, even if you have an LLC, does that fall under sole proprietorship, or is that?
Yeah.
So then to have it fall under, all the way under the business, you need that EIN number.
Yes. So anytime you are using your social security number on a 1099, it's saying it's you.
Right.
That doesn't separate the liability from you. So anytime that you are filling out a W-4 and you have an EIN number and a business name, put it underneath there to protect you from a liability standpoint. And then that way, it just makes your taxes not complicated. Because when you have a social security number, you say you have a 1099 social security number, and then you have an EIN number for your business, you have to file 2 Schedule Cs. So just combine them to do the one. So those two things are very important. I saw a lot of people, not even just creatives, just business owners in general, lose out on being able to apply for those grants because they did not have this information. That's the first thing they ask. What's your EIN number? What is your LLC, your articles of incorporation, and then 2 years tax returns. They wanted to see that regardless of the business, industry, whatever. Okay. Any other questions about that? Yes.
Does an Escort have the same protections as an LLC?
Yes, ma'am. So an S-corp is just a tax, how the business is taxed.
Okay.
So that, I don't want to confuse you too much, but an LLC, an S-corp, and a C-corp, nothing is different about the legality of those businesses. What is different is how they're taxed on the IRS level. So an LLC, you know you have to, well, you may not know this, but as an LLC, you have to pay a self-employment tax of about 15%. So it's like FICA. So it's like when you pay, FICA, why am I having a brain fart? Social Security, Medicare, and stuff like that, you have to pay that as a self-employed. A S-corp eliminates that self-employed tax, so you get to save some money on taxes, and then it has some other tax considerations when it comes to you doing distributions out of the business. And then a C-corp is just flat tax at 21% until they change it. So right now, the tax on a corporation profits is 21% down to just flat, whatever. So that's the only difference between the three, is how they are taxed by the IRS. They offer you the same protection as far as being the owner and the liability. They're just taxed differently. That's a good question. Thank you for asking that. Anything else?
I have another question.
Yes. Oh, hey, girl.
So sometimes customers or entrepreneurs or business owners are not sure whether or not they should enroll or create an entity as an LLC, S corp, or C corp. And we at the bank typically refer them to maybe a CPA or sometimes an attorney. Can you speak to that a little bit, and what would you recommend for that person who's not sure
problem. So there is no flat answer for that. The reason why people switch between the three is how much profits they are making. It's not like I can say, oh, if you make $100,000, you need to be an escort. That may very well may not be true or necessary for your business. But you do need an accountant or a lawyer or a tax preparer, professional, to help you make those decisions when it comes time in your business. And it's something that's dependent on your profits and the business. So I know that doesn't help, but it's not a clear cut, like I can cut that down the middle and tell you definitively what to do. I would have to see how much money you make. Yes, okay. So we got the 3 important documentations. Okay. So from there, what I also saw that people were missing out from the grants is they did not know their income and their expenses. So let's talk about this because I feel like this freaks people out too. Get a separate business bank account. Do not have your business income flow through your personal bank account because you will have no idea how much money you are making and you will have no idea how much you are spending, especially if you are continuing to work at a job, if you are a W-2 employee as well. The reason I say this is because I always ask, what are your expenses or what are your income? And that is what these grant people asked. They wanted to know how much a month it was for your overhead. They wanted to know how much your utilities were, if that was something that is required of your business. And people look at me like a deer in headlights because they have no idea what these numbers are. You have to separate that because there's this thing called co-mingling. The IRS does not like you to co-mingle your personal with your business. Okay, so even if it's not a business bank account, get a separate account. I'll just say that, I won't even say business. Get a separate account that you funnel all your creative money into and funnel all your creative money out. If you need some additional money, make a transfer from your personal to your business. Do not spend out of your personal. Don't do it. Don't be tempted to do it. Because when it comes for tax time and you're looking through your expenses, trying to prepare a tax return, you gotta look through multiple accounts. Make it easy on yourself and just look through one account. If you don't do nothing else I said today, get a separate account. Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of taxes, I know there's a sense of urgency with a lot of this stuff, but I'm curious, would it be wise to, create the business entity and all of that shortly after you file like the next year's taxes to sort of avoid confusing anything?
What are you going to be confusing?
I mean, so let's say you've been working as like a sole proprietor for most of the year.
Yes, ma'am.
And then now in September, you create the LLC. And then you continue working.
Yes,
now you're under the LLC. Would that look weird, on your taxes? Or can you sort of backdate? Yes, I have been working as this LLC the whole year.
That's a good question. So people think the moment they get their LLC, that's when their business is going to affect. No. Get your LLC. It does not matter if you've had it for 2 months of the year or the entire 12 months. When you file your taxes, you're going to file your income underneath your LLC.
Okay, so you can affect, quote unquote, backdate it.
There's no, the only person that's going to know is the state of Ohio and you.
Okay, awesome.
It's not, people be like, that's a good question too. So, that was actually a question too. They wanted to know how long you've been in business. And it's not necessarily, to a certain extent it is when you get your LLC. But don't let the whole year go by and just say, well, I'll just get it next year, because there was a grant that just actually came out, right? It said if you started a business qualify for this grant. They sometimes use when you the tax return, or they use the date that your business went active on the State of Ohio website. So you getting an LLC at any time of the year is not going to confuse anything. There sometimes is some hesitation to get an LLC because people think like now that IRS is going to start bothering them. The IRS doesn't know that you filed for a business articles of incorporation with the State of Ohio. They don't know that. So it's not something that they're going to start sending you notices. People get a LLC a lot of times to protect a name. So I have essentially 5 LLCs. I have 2 businesses. No one's knocking on my door for those other 3 businesses because they're not. I thought I was starting a business out of it. They're not anything. It's really a name protection for the State of Ohio to say I'm claiming this name in the State of Ohio, and this is mine. This is going to be identified as mine. It's the same thing as doing a DBA or a trade name. It's protecting the name of that business more so than it is notifying the IRS that, hey, there's a business out here that needs to be reporting income and it's not. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. Yes.
One more question on that. Mm-hmm. So like I get paid from this other company doing services, but I have to talk to them and have them pay my EIN number?
Yeah, all you got to do is refill out a W-4. Okay. You.
I get the, what is it, at the end of the year?
1099.
1099.
Yeah, so to get a 1099, you filled out a W-4 with them as an independent contractor.
Yes, but I use my social security number. Do I need, if I get a EIN, do I need a?
Yep, just give them a new W-4 with your EIN number on it. And so when they give you a 1099 at the end of the year, it will have your EIN number as opposed to your social security number. Yep. And a W-4 is something you can Google. You can Google W-4, it's free. You can fill it out, it's a PDF, and print it off and give it to the employer or contractor or whatever. Okay. Any other questions around that over here? I don't make sure I'm missing anybody. Yes.
You mentioned the W-4. Is there a difference between the W-4 and the W-9?
That's what I mean. I'm so sorry. A W-4 is for W-2 employees. I am so sorry. That's withholding. A W-9 is what I'm talking about. So anytime I've said W-4 today, cross that out and mean W-9. I'm so sorry. Thank you for saying that. Yes, it's a W-9. So those are very important. Now, so this is why I always tell people, everybody wants to be a business owner until it's time to report it on your taxes. So that 1099, I want to talk about that. That does not have taxes already taken out. So when people get to me and it's time to pay their taxes, they were not expecting to owe taxes because their money the whole year has not had any taxes taken out. And they want to cuss me out as if I've done something wrong. I said, I didn't do anything wrong. No one told me. I'm sorry. This is what you owe. You gonna pay me the fee or not? Okay, I'm sorry. So this is what happens. Your 1099 money does not have any taxes taken out of it. So if you have made a significant amount of money throughout the year and you have not had any taxes taken out of that, when you go to file your taxes, you're going to owe taxes. So this is what you do. You open another bank account. I know you're like, oh, I got too many bank accounts. But this is going to help you. I'm telling you, this is going to help you. If you take out every time you get money, so however they give you money, whether it's a check or, I don't know, a Venmo or whatever, through some electronic, whatever they do, you need to take out at least 20% of that and put it into another bank account that you do not have a card attached to. And you say, why would I have an account that I don't have a card attached to? Because we are human. And if we see money sitting in a bank account, what are we going to do? We're going to spend it. So then we're going to get to tax time in April. And all that money that we set aside for our taxes, it's not going to be there because we didn't purchase something or we didn't pay the bill or something. So it is very advantageous for you to take that money and set that aside so that when it comes due for tax season, you have the money for taxes. And then the blessing is, say, after you get your taxes done and you have some money left over, then you can take that money and use it for whatever you want to use it for. Yes. You.
Good question. So, is it still the rule for if you get an independent contractor and get 500 or less, they will not take taxes out of? Is that still accurate? That number?
Whenever you get a 1099, they don't take taxes out of it, period. So,
Well, no, I'm saying like the amount. So, say for instance, if you hire me to do a job for you and I'm only getting paid max $500, they wouldn't send me then a form to pay taxes on it. Is it still the $500?
it's actually six. So if you make more $600 and above, they are required to give you a 1099. Anything less, they typically are not going to go through the hassle of giving you a 1099. Now, what you do with that money is your own business. Let me see, how can I say this without being sneaky? If you choose to report that on your taxes, you're going to be taxed on that, so then you need to take out the 20%. If you choose to only report the income that you have a 1099 for, that is between you and the IRS. That's your business. That's all I'm going to say there. So, but yes, so if they give you more than $600 throughout the year, they are supposed to give you a 1099. You yourself, like I said, can take out the 20%, put it in an account. If you then pay your taxes and you have money left over, you can do with that money whatever you want to do. I do want to talk about that now. Biden has, or is proposing to pass a law where banks have to report inflows and outflows to a bank account in the amount of $600. Have people heard that? It's a proposal. I don't know. You said what? So what he wants is banks to report to the IRS inflows and outflows of $600. To report directly to the IRS. This is going to hurt self-employed people who are on the honor system of reporting their income and small business owners. So $600, right now the limit is $10,000. So imagine $600 going in and out of your business as often as it goes in and out of your business, and that being reported directly to the IRS. So I don't know what this is for. I don't know why this will be important to him. I don't know why he cares. I just tell them to print some more money. We, the government, don't act like y'all can't print more money. I don't know what the issue is, but I do want to let you know that that is being proposed for banks to report directly to the IRS inflows and outflows of both personal and business accounts. So, yep, personal and business. So we will see. The banks are fighting back on that, so hopefully the banks win. So I just want to let you guys know that it's a new development in the world that we live in today. Good. Yeah, because it's a lot. I used to audit a bank, so that's a lot. So, yeah. Yes.
Does, like you talked about the CARES Act money.
Yes.
Is that, if you get money from CARES Act or SBA, does that money have to be taxed as income?
So CARES Act, yes, because everyone I know who received the CARES Act, they sent them a 1099. So technically that is taxed. Any loan money you get is not taxed because it's loan money. It's not income or gross receipts from operating a business. It's just loan money. So no, that money is not taxed. But if you got in the Dayton City grant, any CARES grant where they gave out $10,000, they issued, the clients that I had, they issued them a 1099. And so they had to pay taxes on that. Yes.
Whether you're, I know you can
Yep, I'm gonna talk about the system. Because I think I got off topic when I talked about knowing your income and expenses. So, you need to invest, and I know these things can be kind of expensive for you if you are a small business owner just starting out, but you need to invest in some type of bookkeeping system. So whether that be a Quickbooks, a Waze, a Zero, an app, or something that tracks money coming into your business for you to categorize it and money going out of your business for you to categorize it. QuickBooks right now, I want to say, I think it's $20 a month, I want to say. And if numbers freak you out, QuickBooks is the most user-friendly for me because at least you can call their helpline and say, hey, what is this? I don't understand this. And they can at least help you set it up and give you a gist. And they have QuickBooks has a wonderful community of help, like questions, forums, people that have answered these questions, asked these questions before. So if there's something that you are that is confusing to you within there, QuickBooks is good as far as their help community and their 1-800 numbers to help you categorize your transactions. But this is very important, and you need to know this because you need to know, when you know how much you are spending in your business, you know if you are charging the adequate amount for your services. You also know what is costing you to, run your business. So if you don't know how much it costs you to run your business, you can't know if you're pricing your services or your artwork appropriately. And I don't want anybody, creative or not, to get in the habit of saying, I know how to do this and it takes me, it doesn't take me that long, so I'm not going to charge that much. Don't ever say that, because the price is relative. There are people paying $10 for a watch. There are people paying $2,500,000 for a watch. A watch is a watch. So I don't want you to undervalue yourself because you don't know how much it costs you to run your business. It can cost you $35 to run your business, right? And if you want to charge, I don't know, $25,000 for a piece of artwork, who gonna check you and say wrong? Because there's somebody who will buy that from you for sure. So, but knowing your numbers, and that is why I stress that so heavily, because knowing your numbers dictates a lot in your business. Does anybody have a problem with pricing? A problem with pricing? Pricing. No, y'all good? Y'all feel strong about your prices? That's good. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, cool. Who has a problem? We could talk about it.
I don't actually have a problem, but I would still like to hear.
Okay. Yeah, so pricing is very important. I want y'all businesses to pay y'all a lifestyle that y'all wish to live. I don't want y'all to be overworked and undervalued. So, but a part of that is on where your break-even point is in your business. And what I mean by break-even is meaning how much I spent, at least I need to get that back, right? And so then we need a little more because we need to be a little saucy, right? I want to be able to say quit my job or, go on a luxury trip or whatever you want to do. I don't care what it is. If luxury is not your thing, whatever you want to do. I want you to be able to have a business that supports that. And then knowing your numbers is a huge part of that. So if you are scared about your pricing or you feel like it's not at least covering it or allowing you to live the lifestyle that you want, there's some reassessment that you need to do when you are creating or, purchasing materials or assessing prices and sending invoices and things like that. Also, receiving money. I want to talk about that. So we live in a Cash App world. We live in a Venmo world. And we use these things because we think that there's no, there is no, I take a Cash App, there's no fee from taking that. So we try to do these things that take the fee out. Instead of just trying to take that fee out, just charge more to cover the fee without saying you're charging more because you want to cover a fee. So Cash App will send you a 1099 if you've ran a certain amount of money through there Venmo will send you a 1099 if you ran a certain amount of money through there. Don't use those things as a way to avoid the fee, just charge more. I say that all the time. Both, they will send you a 1099. Yeah. Yeah, so they will send you a 1099. And that messes a lot of people up because that can be attached to your social security number as opposed to your EIN number. So now you have to tell the IRS when you're filing your taxes, like, didn't fall underneath my social security number, this fell under my business number. And it's just very convoluted, it's very confusing when we could have just maybe used the PayPal or QuickBooks invoicing or some other type of invoicing system as opposed to, or cash or whatever. Oh, I don't know. No, they all send you a Cash App. I mean, not Cash App. PayPal will send you a 1099. Any payment processor that you run a significant amount of money through will send you a 1099 for that year. Yep. Oh, dang, 5 minutes, okay. So we got 5 minutes. Okay, so yeah, any payment processor that you use to get money through or receive through will send you a 1099 if you run a significant amount of money through there. So be mindful of that. Make sure I don't like using those things because people leave money sitting on them. I have known them to be hacked. And people have not gotten their money back. I have known those people to maybe not receive the 1099, and then the government said you didn't report this, so now we're going to say you made this amount of money and then charge you penalties and interest for some money that you didn't even know because you missed the mailing, receiving it in the mail for you. So use the invoicing system. These are systems. Do your QuickBooks, have an invoicing system, and do your documentation. Get your documentation.
Emerald, how can people get in contact with you as we wrap up?
I have some business cards, but my website is literally my name. It's emeraldsparks.com. I will have a consultation with anybody. So you just book it on my website. But it's literally my name, emeraldsparks.com. That has every service that I offer, that has how to get in contact with me. Any product that I sale is all on my store. So literally, if you go to my website and make an appointment on my calendar, you will have access to my calendar. We can talk about business consulting, we can talk about taxes, we can talk about bookkeeping, we can talk about proper documentation, whatever. So don't feel like you don't have help. I work specifically with small business owners. I do not work with larger companies because I feel that when you go to some of the other larger like accounting firms, they kind of like overprice you and kind of weed you out, and so then you're left like, what do I do? Like, there's no help. And so I am that person for the smaller business owner who needs these corporate things, but not necessarily can afford them. So that is why I started my business and why I be the resource that I am to small business owners today.